Perched on the edge of a jagged cliff, the old lighthouse stood as a sentinel against the restless sea. Abandoned for decades, it loomed in solitude, its light long extinguished. But the townsfolk spoke of strange occurrences, lights flickering where none should be, and the wailing of a forlorn siren echoing against the crashing waves. Curiosity tugged at James, a young writer who arrived in the coastal village seeking inspiration. He had heard whispers of the haunted lighthouse and was inexplicably drawn to its mystery. One fog-laden evening, he decided to venture there, hoping to unravel the secrets that lay within its crumbling walls. The climb to the lighthouse was treacherous, the path steep and lined with thorny bushes. As James approached, the air grew colder, and a chill wind howled around the tower like the anguished cries of ghosts long forgotten. Undeterred, he pushed open the rusted iron gate and stepped inside. The interior was a maze of dust and shadows, the air thick with the scent of salt and decay. James's footsteps echoed as he ascended the spiral staircase, each step groaning under his weight. At the top, he entered the lantern room, a circular space with windows that offered a view of the turbulent sea below. As he stood there, contemplating the desolate beauty, a strange sensation washed over him, a feeling of being watched. He turned slowly, eyes scanning the dim room. There was no one, yet he couldn't shake the ominous presence. Suddenly, the room was filled with a blinding light that seemed to emanate from the ancient lens, though it had been broken for years. Startled, James shielded his eyes, his heart pounding in his chest. The light pulsed, almost alive, casting eerie shadows that danced across the walls. Within the blinding glow, he glimpsed a spectral figure, her eyes shimmering with sadness. She was dressed in old-fashioned clothing, her form ethereal and translucent. Her gaze met his, and a whisper carried through the air, a plea, soft and mournful. "Help me, release me." James was transfixed, the words echoing in his mind. He knew instinctively that this was the spirit of a keeper's wife who had perished under mysterious circumstances, her soul trapped within the lighthouse. The townsfolk's tales came rushing back, of how she had been searching for her lost love, a sailor who never returned. Compelled by an unknown force, James reached out, his fingers touching the cold surface of the lens. The light intensified, enveloping him in a warmth that seeped into his very bones. He could feel her sorrow, her longing, and her hope for freedom. In that moment he understood. She needed to be reunited with the sea, the only place that could guide her lost spirit home. With a gentle nod, he whispered, "Be free." The light flared one last time, and the ghostly figure smiled, her form dissolving into a cascade of shimmering light that drifted out to sea. As quickly as it had come, the light vanished, leaving the room in darkness. James stood alone, the chill of the night creeping in, but he felt a profound peace settling over him. The lighthouse was silent once more, the air calm and still. When he returned to the village, James shared the tale of the ghost's release. The townsfolk nodded, solemn yet grateful, believing that the spirits of the lighthouse could finally find peace. The old lighthouse still stood, but now it was merely a monument to the past, its haunting whispers silenced, leaving only the distant soothing sound of the ocean waves. Pause 3S. James, after his encounter with the spectral figure at the lighthouse, emerged with a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. The experience had been both haunting and enlightening, giving him a connection to the spirit and the history of the place that few others would understand. The moment he touched the cold surface of the lens, an understanding passed between him and the ghost, a shared recognition of her longing to be free. When the light flared one last time and the ghostly figure dissolved into shimmering light, James knew that he had helped her find her way home. Afterward, as he descended the spiral staircase and left the lighthouse behind, James felt changed. The eerie feeling of being watched had disappeared, replaced by a serene calm. The knowledge that he had helped grant the spirit release filled him with a quiet joy and inspiration. Back in the village, he shared the story with the locals, who listened with a mixture of awe and relief. They believed that the lighthouse was no longer haunted, and James's experience became another chapter in the town's rich tapestry of legends. For James, the lighthouse provided more than just inspiration for his writing. It offered a glimpse into the mysteries of life and afterlife, leaving him with a newfound appreciation for the stories that reside in forgotten places. His subsequent writings captured the essence of his experience, resonating deeply with readers and forever tying his legacy to the enigmatic lighthouse by the sea. During his time at the lighthouse and through his ethereal encounter with the spectral figure, James gained insights into the history of the place. The ghostly apparition he encountered was believed to be the spirit of the keeper's wife, who had lived there many decades ago. Locals had long whispered about the tragic tale surrounding her life. She was assumed to be waiting for her husband, a sailor who had never returned from sea. The mystery of her disappearance and the circumstances under which she died had remained unsolved, contributing to the legends and eerie reputation of the lighthouse. Through the spectral encounter, James understood her deep longing and sorrow, and he knew that her spirit had been trapped there, bound by a need to be reunited with her lost love. This poignant history, once veiled in the winds and overlooked by time, became clear to James in that luminous moment. Later, when he returned to the village, James shared his experience and the insights he had gained, which provided closure to the story for the townsfolk. The tale of love, loss, and the enduring bond between the keeper's wife and her sailor brought a sense of peace and resolution to the community, transforming the lighthouse from a place of haunting whispers to a beacon of poignant memorial. Pause 2S. Years later, the lighthouse became a symbol of hope and remembrance. Visitors came from far and wide to hear the legend of the keeper's wife and to see the place where her spirit was finally set free. James's writings about the lighthouse and his encounter with the spectral figure became a source of inspiration for many, reminding them of the power of love, the pain of loss, and the possibility of finding peace even after the darkest of times. And so the legacy of the lighthouse lived on, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the stories that connect us all. Pause 3S. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of mystery and wonder.